What's going on, everyone? My name is Shane Kipper. Hey, happy Christmas, happy New Year. Hope you've had a great time with your family. Today, I wanted to cover a topic that you can use if you're struggling, a business owner struggling to create content for your social media, for your video sales letters, to sell people into your programs and your email campaigns. If you go to sit down and create a piece of content and you lose that creativity and that spark and that inspiration to create those pieces, a lot of times it's because we get overwhelmed and confused by all the different strategies and tactics out there that can produce really the same result, right? But at the end of the day, there are foundational pieces and really 4 to 5 core elements that you need in every piece of content to really create an emotional connection and a logical explanation for how your product or service is better or does the job or gets them the outcome that they want. Okay. So next time you go to sit and write a piece of content, use this framework. So I'll make myself a little bit smaller here. This is a platform or a software that's called Figma.com. It's free. It's like a whiteboarding tool. It's kind of cool. But I've kind of like outlined the process here. There's 2 elements that we need to focus on. Number 1 is the problem. That really is where we start. Okay. Obviously, we have to know our audience, but what is the problem that audience has? And there's 2 different types of audiences, or 2 different types of problems. There's moving away from pain and there's moving towards pleasure. Okay. So moving away from pain, let's say you're a health professional, but your prospects and your clients, they are maybe overweight, in fear of getting diabetes or some sort of illness, or, not in fear of not being able to spend a lot of time with their families, or, that's pain. They're moving away from that pain. So that's the problem. But if they're on the other side, there's moving towards pleasure instead of pain, because maybe they don't have the pain. In the same instance with a health professional teaching clients, maybe that person, the prospect, is already healthy and fit, but they want to compete in a competition. So there's not really a lot of pain there, but there's the pleasure of getting that championship, of winning that title. So identify which of those 2 problems that your prospects really have, because that's going to change and alter the way that you speak in your content on every facet, right? Then once we've identified what the problem is, what's the outcome? What's the payoff? What's the thing that they're going to get as a result of working with you and your services and your courses and your programs? But we have to be specific. Okay. There are surface level desires like make more money or have better health or better relationships, or you name it. Those are surface level desires, but we need to be very specific. That way we can illustrate and paint that picture in the prospect's mind of what that's going to look like in their life, right? We want to be more dimensionalized in the way that it's going to make them feel, right? How else is that going to transform their life? Just because they make more money, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they're after. They might want the money so that they can invest in their retirement and have a long-term play or financial play for their family, right? If it's health, they want to spend more time with their family and they want to do this, that, and the other, right? Being very specific as to what it is that they're going to get as a result of using your product and actually getting that delivery. Okay. So because we have our problem, we're able to make a promise, right? A promise of transformation. That's really step 1. Okay. But in between, now that we have our problem and our outcome, we have the beginning and the end, the starting line and the finish line. In between is the track, the roadmap, the road, right? And so there are a couple core elements or core pillars that you can use in any of those pieces of content. So number 1, right here, we've got interest, and I'm just going to abbreviate this stuff. So it's a little hard to write with this mouse, but number 1, we've got interest, which is where we make our promise and we're calling out the attention of the prospects that we want to serve. And we want to be specific here. If you are for example, if you are a real estate agent who wants to sell 20 homes a month, I don't know if that's possible. I'm sure it is. Then then this is what you're going to get. You're calling out and gaining the interest of the prospects that you want. Okay. Number two, we've got emotion. So we need to get them emotionally involved. One of my mentors, Todd Brown, says, seduce the heart and convince the mind, which is the third step, logic. But when we get to emotion, we're really talking about the problems that they face. We're talking about how we've been there. We're finding common ground with the prospect and helping them identify the problems, the real problem, right? Because they may have it in their mind that the problem is this, but it might actually be that they are missing something. Right. So helping them identify that what they've been through isn't necessarily their fault and that there is a better way. And then in the logic part, we're really just explaining how we have the better way and how the better way can transform their life and really proving it. We're logically explaining, right? Again, we're seducing the heart, emotion, and convincing the brain. Okay. So logically explaining. Right now, this piece here is a little bit trickier. It's actually our North Star. Okay. It's our primary promise plus our statement of superiority. It's hard to talk and type, plus the unique mechanism. Okay, so the unique mechanism, I'll talk about in another later video, but I'll just briefly describe it here. But our primary promise, the primary promise is the promise of payoff, right? We found the problem and we know the outcome. So we're promising them what they're going to get as a result of watching the content, watching the video sales letter, reading the email. Then we've got the statement of superiority. The statement of superiority is it faster? Is it more efficient? Is it more effective? Is it, how is it better than what they've tried in the past? How is it better than the competition? And then we've got the unique mechanism. So this is a high level hack. If you are trying to figure out how to differentiate yourself from the competition, is by having your own unique method, formula, system, you name it, right? Technique, whatever. Okay. It's your proprietary way of delivering on the primary promise, the thing that you're promising of an outcome, right? So it's the fastest way to lose 30 pounds is with the cellular division method, right? That kind of formula. So this is our North Star. And what this is actually called is the thesis statement. And I'm just going to abbreviate again, thesis statement. Okay, this is your North Star. This is really the most important piece. And I would actually say that this comes as the third step. So we identify the problem, we know what the outcome is, and then we develop our thesis statement. This is the core belief that we have to get them to accept before we present our offer, which is this step here. So O for offer. So before we present our offer, they need to believe that we are the fastest or most efficient or whatever, what's our superiority, fastest way to get the result that they want is through our way of doing it. And then we can present our offer. So in a piece of content, in a piece of email, in your video sales letter, if you want this result without, the pain that you've had in the past or without the things that you've tried in the past, making that primary promise in the beginning, grabbing their interest and emotionally getting them involved by saying, I'm like you, we've been through the same things. The things that you've tried in the past are wrong. You've been misled and this is the truth. And then logically explain how the claim that you just made is in fact accurate, and how that your unique mechanism, how your way of doing it is superior and will get them the result, the outcome that they want. Now, once they believe that, then you can get into your offer. And when it comes to content, on social media, the offer is more like click the button to learn more, click the link to watch the free training, click the link to go get access to this program and a great discount. But when it comes to your video sales letters, when you're talking about your offer, you're actually breaking down the offer, all the components, the guarantees, the price, the terms. There's a lot of different components in an offer. And I'll cover another lesson on offers. Okay. So, hopefully this was helpful. If it was, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know, it might be helpful for you to say, what is your prospect's problem? What is the outcome that you provide for your audience? So I'm going to leave it at that. It was about a 10-minute video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon.